We're just going to go with it, man. Refresh Friday on the lot in the forums, and we are live on Facebook. This is episode 10, and our main topic today is going to be centered around utilizing B2C and personalized video at the dealership to help increase sales and service. Today, we have John Colban, Operations Manager at Authntk WalkAroundVideo. We also have JP Ostiguy. JP is the Manager of Retail Operations at the, I'll say this right, Zanchin Automotive Group in Toronto. JP, you've been with the Zanchin Group for what, 10 plus years now, right? Give us a little bit of background.
Been there since 2014. Been in the automotive industry for 10 years. Was brought on basically to help with the internet needs and the communication strategies. So it's been fun, and using video has been an awesome ride in the customer experience and improving that really unique way of delivering a message to a client.
So speaking of video, of course, you've had some, you've been able to showcase some extraordinary results with your dealerships utilizing video. Hats off to that, because I know that's not easy. It's not easy getting everyone at the dealership involved with video. How long ago did you introduce and start training your dealerships on video?
Well, when I joined in January of 2014, probably by February of 2014, I started. And basically rolling out slowly to looking at different ways of communication than just phone or email or in person or text. We needed to find different ways to work with the client on the medium that is what they want. Also a way to showcase the product, our personalities, our mantra in a way that we can get across in a very short, timely manner, because emails have no, some people say emails have no soul. So we try to really push our personality forward.
So you bring up showcasing the product and your mantra. If you were to rank those in order of like what you think is the most impactful to the customer, what would it be? Your
personalization and making it just for them. That's by far the most important thing. The product, of course, is important, but it's secondary. And then your ability to communicate to the client in a positive manner is third. Let's be honest. Everyone can buy a new car anywhere, probably closer. Someone told them it was a better price. Someone said they had great customer service. So the video lets you prove an action versus just telling them.
Yeah.
It's been a big thing for us.
That makes perfect sense.
When you step into a dealership, though, I mean, introducing video, a lot of people are very, they've got some fears. How do you help them get past the fears of utilizing video?
Well, first of all, when I step into a dealership, I try to get an idea of what everyone's level of comfort is with just internet communication. Do they understand why someone would go online before they push forward? Why they don't want to communicate with you directly? Why didn't they pick up the phone? Why didn't they walk in? What does the customer expect from the OEM sites when they deliver that lead to you? So once I have the understanding of the staff and where they are, we tailor a personal training thing for everybody, kind of rolling out slowly, letting them try outside their comfort zone, maybe first with text, and getting them communicating and getting them to see instant results. And once we see that, and people are willing to have more and they want more, then we roll out, okay, now we're just going to do a video. We're just going to take a video of you and kind of get you used to being in front of a camera. And once they get a little more comfortable with that, we give them the tools to use and basically force them to do it. I've rewritten a lot of the job descriptions to include video as part of it. And if you're not going to use video, you can wait at the door with everybody else because you probably won't have a phone on your desk either. But yeah, we've really empowered people to grow their own personal business, to brand themselves better. You don't have, we empowered people that they can really show who they are. So when a client does show up, they're not looking around for someone who they think their name starts with a J. There's a picture of that person. There's a connection. And we show them that using video, not just for the sales communication, but for the thanking after the appointment, the booking, confirming an appointment, the after sales thank you, the follow-ups, using as many types of video communication as possible with analytics has the best return. And
now, are these templated videos that are sort of pre-recorded, or do you have salespeople, service people that are like doing these on the fly?
I have both. So I have some people who are really fearful of their own voice. So they find they can a bunch of videos, and then they edit the front of it to say, hi, Bill. And then it goes into the video, and we record them every season out for seasonality, because when it's green and sunny outside and it's winter, obviously we would try to do it. But we have a lot of people who prefer to do it to be personalized. I prefer to do it that way, to make it a canned, not a canned response, but a canned process.
Well, anytime you can say the customer's name, I mean, it's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, but you can always edit something in, like, blah, 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 Bill, and then blah, 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 blah. It's easier when you can really tailor towards their questions, their concerns, what they're looking at, the competition. If you can address that in a video versus just a static email or a phone call, you can really work with that client and really show them what you're all about. And then you've actually listened, cared, and read their concerns.
So you were just talking about process, and before that you were talking about different places where you insert video into your process. Now, do you send multiple videos to the same customer as they move through the road to a sale and even into the service department?
So this is a great question. We do try to promote it. Now, we're not overly effective with it yet, but we do try to promote at either a personal one-on-one video, like, hi, my name is JP, just wanted to let you know who you're dealing with, to a product demonstration video, to here's your car, Bill, I'll see you at 3 o'clock, to when the customer shows and picks up the car for delivery on delivery day, hey, we got your car ready, look how shiny it is, we can't wait to see you and have you in your new car. And then we're working on our service departments to do a handoff to do their first oil change. This is what we wanted to show you about your car. Obviously, it's a process.
Video for an oil change. Ooh.
Well, I think if you can show someone the value, they'll buy in for later, and you can actually.
Oh, no question. That's strong.
Use it as a selling tool. Yeah.
You think about the logistics
that's
of all the oil changes, and trying to keep up with it.
Well, again, not everyone's going to want to take one. This is the challenge, but we're now going to be changing our website to have a call to action. We get a video for your service, and we're going to be using it as a tool, and you can use it as an upsell tool as well. So. Yeah.
Sweet.
Speaking of tools, what are some of the different tools that you use to record your video, get them out there?
Well, we played around with a bunch now at the beginning. We played around with YouTube and Google. We played around with, attaching videos or just texting videos. And then I found Authntk. Authntk has been a godsend, because we all know things fail because it becomes hard or there's too many steps. Authntk gives me 4 steps. Take the video, load the video, put the customer's data, hit send. And that's it. So it was 19 steps on YouTube. It's 4 steps. And, it's the least problematic or energy wasting time to use only 4 steps. And
well, when you're working with salespeople, it's got to be as easy as possible.
Absolutely. Anytime you can shorten the
steps, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. So Authntk been great, because they've been really working. John is with Authntk. We've been really working well with him, and he's been offering up. Here's what's working in other areas. Here's some really inspiring stuff that's been going on. Here's an idea, and he was really willing to work with me on creating an idea of what I wanted to accomplish for my dealerships. And he's been great. If you want an easy tool, Authntk would be a really easy tool.
So speaking of John, you and I go pretty far back.
Yeah, man, we've what's the 5-6 years now that we've been
probably about that long. Yeah. I was helping the guys out with WalkAroundVideo. You and I were speaking the other day, and you had mentioned that you were in the process of shopping for a new car, and apparently it's been sort of eye-opening experience for you. I'm guessing in a good way, because every dealership that you've shopped has probably sent you a video, right?
Yeah, yeah, right. Absolutely not. Yeah, no.
What has been your experience? I'm curious to hear about this.
Yeah, it's been interesting. So about 2 weeks ago, brought the car into the dealership and needed a bunch of work. So we started shopping around and put leads in through websites first. CarMax, and then a couple of the other dealerships in the area. And the responses I got just have been proving the value of video to me. Because so I got a initial response from the internet managers, right? And I corresponded with them, gave them some more information, had a good experience. And then later that day, I got emails from other sales associates who I had never talked to before saying, hey, we're going to be working together. Do you need any more information? And I was like, I have no idea who you are. And then I got emails from other salespeople asking me if I needed information. And then I got the CAN templates from the internet manager saying, are you still interested in this car? Like the next day. And I was like, we already emailed back and forth about it. So I don't know. I was getting the customer experience that is so canned. Like, I replied to one guy and I said, please just, correspond with me. Don't send me the canned emails. Like, I want to work with you. You know what I mean? So I didn't get any videos. I didn't get any personal introductions. So, it was interesting to be on that side of it, to see the value that video can bring to the customer.
So you got yourself some good leads that week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I know that these big, some of the biggest in the area aren't using it still, and video, this is probably 5-6 years that people are realizing the importance of video. So it's eye-opening to see how many people still aren't doing it.
JP, I guess this is how you're crushing the competition. I mean, to be able to take the video, you personalize it, you're able to send it quickly. I mean, let's be real. Most people can speak better than what they can write.
Yeah,
and
we like being in front of people. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great way to introduce, the salesperson, introduce the car. But the fact that at the end of the day, it's actually a lot quicker.
It is,
quick video, as long as you're not doing the YouTube thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, you got the video out. It's so much more effective, and you don't have to worry about spelling errors or grammar. I mean, grammar.
You got to worry about some noise.
Well, and I'm not too far from West Virginia, so it's a little crazy. But
you know what the best part is when people really adopted it and started running with it. Like, well, how can I use it? How can it be different? So now we have several people using Google Duo or FaceTime and actually one-to-one-ing their customer, which is by far, besides being in person, the best experience, because you can actually take that client right out to the dealer, to the car, show them any questions, and you can address them person to person, and people feel really relaxed in their own home. So it's really opened our eyes to other forms of communication than just a formatted video to send through email or text. The nice thing was with the Authntk platform, the open rates are ridiculous. And sorry, my daughter's right here.
There it goes.
There it goes. The open rates are huge, and the analytics in the back are great. So we know when that customer opens the email, we're allowed to now contact them and say, hey, what'd you think of my email? It was my first. Could you give me your feedback? Versus going, hey, did you like my video? The more we can be personalized, the better it'll be. So
earlier, I think it played off the wrong way. It sounded like I called John a tool. So I was trying to ask a question from the audience, actually, about CRM, a tool, not John. And so Joe Webb had a question. It's basically, do you believe video should ideally be sent through the CRM? And if so, what CRM integrates video best in your experience? We throw that one out there, or is that stomp all over you on that one, John?
I know John's
You're not a tool, by the way.
I know John's working on a tool or a widget they can attach to CRMs and be sent in and be included in the follow-up process. When the only drawback, if you can send a video and it compresses it and it's sent to a client in a very small format, it's great. The problem is when we send it as an attachment, especially here in Canada with the spam filters being second to none in the world, it blocks them. When guys are texting videos as an attachment or through an email as an attachment, a lot of people don't have a large receiving box. It'll block anything with the word video or YouTube in it. So it doesn't have the best answer rates. Ideally, as an individual and as a manager and as a trainer, do I want a CRM to record stuff? Of course. I want to see everything my staff are doing so I can help them grow. Not that I can just, stay on top of them, but so I can help them grow. So do I know of any CRMs that are really good? I know DealerSocket has a really strong tool. In Canada, we have D2C Media, which lets you communicate with video. I don't have any positive statistics on which ones open better and which ones don't, just because we do it kind of separately than added as a note.
Unless there's a tight integration, you're probably going to have 1 to 2 more steps for the salespeople or service.
And that's just it.
And the whole point is to reduce the steps.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely.
What we try to do with a lot of the CRMs, we can get an email address and BCC the video email, goes to the customer, also sends to a CRM email address. So it gets dropped into the CRM. And then as long as the email already exists, it will tie back to that account record. So that's for a lot of our customers, the authentic customers, what we try to do is, get a CRM address. So it gets BCC'd. So then it gets dropped in as a record, so they don't have to go back in and make a note. But it doesn't work for all CRMs. A lot of the big ones it does. But otherwise, you can always grab the video link, put it in there as a note, or just make a note that you send the video, and everything is tracked and authentic, so you could go in and see views and plays and stuff like that.
So John,
Would
Authntk be interested in doing any kind of API with some of the CRMs that are out there?
Yes, absolutely we would. Yeah.
Okay. That's on the record now. Anyone listening in?
Good question.
Yeah, we would.
Good question.
We would love to.
You're welcome, John.
Yeah. Yeah. Good setup, Alex.
The one really good thing that I like about Authntk and the tool over I've seen of other ones is you can actually do it as a monitor. So you can actually approve the videos before they go out. I've seen some. John, you've seen some of my videos in the beginning in infancy. They were brutal. So you have the ability to not only just monitor, but approve. And when it's approved, the customer gets a copy, the salesperson gets a copy, the management get a copy, I get a copy. So everyone knows it's been delivered.
So a salesperson can record a video, then it goes into basically a holding bucket for approval from a manager, and then it goes out. Well, that's good too. I mean, let's agree. A lot of times, some dealerships, we've got the revolving door. Salesperson leaves, maybe decides to record a quick video, sends it out, but you've got a sort of a catch net for that. So that's nice.
Well, it's not even that, because we're on auto approval now. So we trust our staff enough that we know it's just going to go through. Good, bad, or ugly. They're going to get it.
As you should.
We have I've caught ones though that we had a guy that was 6'6", and he had this giant belt buckle, and he didn't talk in his videos. He just did the walkarounds. His walkarounds were solid, but for one video I got a belt buckle shot because the camera was reversed in a heavy breathing for a minute and a half. It was the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life. But the nice thing about the way it works out is Authntk and John have been really helpful. We've done contests and stuff, and he's offered to judge them. So totally it's a very subjective view on them. Helped us pick winners. Helped us analyze where we could improve. So working with John has been great. Really helps you pinpoint where you can improve and motivate your staff with just an in-store contest.
So we've talked about the software side and integration with CRMs, et cetera. Let's jump over to the hardware side. I think we got a few questions around that. I mean, I know most of the you know, most of them are app related. They jump on your iPhone. You know, you can install them on your iPhone, your BlackBerry. Just kidding.
Nope.
Your Android. Do the walk around
BlackBerry's
video.
still strong in Canada.
There you go. Forgot about that. You know, and then we've also have different mics. I mean, what's some of the different hardware that you're using, JP?
Well, you know, we use tablets. We have tablets at every store that's loaded on. Most people prefer to use it on their phone, depending on their storage availability. If you've got a Google Pixel, it'll have unlimited hosting, so it'll host it in the cloud. If you ever got a good camera, anything works. But we were talking about it earlier, gimbal mounts and everything else. Our company went out and bought a frame for your cell phone with a mic on it and a light and everything else. And we use it, even has a button for on off. And it was $110 Canadian, so I love $10 US. And it's been really great because it can stabilize it and really get you in front and keep you true to form. But personal cell phones seem to be the way that people prefer, because they're not going to log in an iPad and everything else.
Yeah.
We have one guy doing it on a camcorder. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Does it on a camcorder, takes the thing out, sticks it inside the computer, loads it onto Authntk for his computer.
Sheesh.
But
Somebody's sneaking up on JP back there.
Yeah.
I see the doors opening.
Yeah.
The poltergeist back.
My kids are off today.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got someone that understands the importance of it, and he's willing to go through all those extra steps.
Yeah, and his phone's a flip phone, so that's why he does it this way.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Oh, is it a camcorder from like 1984?
Well, no, it's a 4K camera. But
It's on beta.
Yeah.
John, since you're working with a lot of dealerships, of course, what's some other things that you could throw into the mix around hardware? What do you see some of your other dealerships using?
Yeah. So what's interesting is you can get as creative or as basic as you want, right? If you just go out there and use your camera and use your, the headphones with the mic, you're going to make a decent video. The stabilizers are great. You can even do a selfie stick and, shoot yourself, then turn it around. That is a cheaper way to get some more stabilization. Like a Rode lapel mic, just clip it on your shirt, plugs right into your smartphone. And these, it's going to give you way better audio than just the mic.
That's a good idea.
The mic from your earphones, or especially if you're just holding your phone, you're going to pick up a ton of background noise. Alex is showing one there.
Big fluffy.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're super easy to use. And then you can get little clip-on lenses. So we see all of it. The important thing is that people are doing it. Yeah, there you go. That's a cool one.
Oh, well, I'm not sure that's translating over to Facebook. So you actually
didn't get translated. No, it's the Z Prime by Zestalis. It's something that I jumped on about a year and a half ago. Alex, I think I turned you into this as well. This is a different model, but great tool, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm using, you turned me on to this one, which is a straight up iPhone case. And then this little thing with different lenses inside just magnetizes right on. And in this case, it's a circular polarizer, so you can control sky and color and things like that.
That's cool.
And of course, you can do that with video and photo, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things you're probably not going to want to use in video with these. So like this one's got a fisheye on it, and that might drive somebody nuts.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, the polarizer is great, especially if it's an overcast, or it's not an overcast, it's a very bright day. But polarizer can get a little funny with windshields. So think of a polarizer in the right angle of light will make water disappear. It'll make glass disappear, or make it so you can see through it a little easier. So
how do we make you disappear?
I'm gone.
Yeah, the one thing I would recommend is if you have any decent phone, you can use video.
Mm-hmm.
If you have like and some people do, an Android, like a $75 prepaid, Android phone probably is not going to work best. Maybe you can grab a tablet from the store or something like that. But even for a small investment, I think you get your money back. You buy a decent phone, get a mic and a lens, and you're $300 in and you're good. You don't need a ton. You don't need to invest a ton of money to make decent videos.
Do you have dealerships that are buying these peripherals for their salespeople, service people, or do you recommend that the salesperson just go out and invest in themselves and get it done?
Yeah, so that totally depends on the dealership and how forward thinking they are and progressive. A lot of dealerships, like JP's dealerships, they see the value. So they set their sales guys up for success, right? The sales guy's success is the dealership's success or the service department. So they'll buy an iPad and, a stabilizer and stuff like that. We have a number.
Sorry, go ahead, John.
No, I was going to say we have a number of individual users who see the value, but the dealership doesn't, and they invest in themselves and, either sign up for a service on their own, like Authntk, or, they go out and they get their own mics and stuff.
So you have individuals that sign up with Authntk WalkAround?
Yeah. Yes.
So you have an individual package?
Yeah. So we have what we call our Lone Ranger package, which is exactly for individuals who see the value, but dealerships are, tight on the pocketbook or whatever. So they'll pay for it themselves. It's pretty affordable, no limit on videos, no limit on emails, just for one user. Yeah.
JP, how do you roll it out with your dealerships? Are the dealerships involved, or are they progressive? Well, I'm guessing so, right?
Well, again, we opened up a dealership, an Infiniti dealership, about a year and a half ago, and we pretty much said we're using video, and if you don't like it, we're not hiring you. And that was the end of it. It was pure territory. You didn't have, have to train anybody to do it. It was great. But the older stuff, whatever video tool you use, set a goal and put a tablet out there for the winner and have someone judge it that's subjective and or objective, sorry, and basically make that the tool for the store. Hey, this is what we're going to do. The winner's going to get this, and you can use it towards the tool. Or we're going to buy so many of these. It's funny because in Toronto, there's a Porsche dealer that it's not one of my group, but it's pretty cool. They went for a full video mode. So you can actually dial in through Skype, get the receptionist on video, and then she'll transfer the call to a salesperson on a gimbal who will then take it to the customer and walk around a video live, one-on-one, two-way. So video's there, and you just got to find ways to use it. That's going to the extreme. That's where I hope to be at. But I think really having that interaction and challenging your staff and not, like the old way of why people don't follow up, Bill, did you follow up? Yeah, followed up. Good job. And walk away. And, really tie it into a process where people are rewarded and complimented versus, you have to do this. You have no choice. That's what we did. We just made it part of their success, and we showed them it could be done. And
so you're talking about the sales success. What about service? Where are you utilizing video in the service department, and what success are you seeing initially?
I think John remembers this one. We had a store that was a little bit off, didn't want to use video, and I said, listen, just try it. Just give it a chance. Just try it. We had a lady come in with an FX35 overheating, and she was very angry at us because we had serviced the car 3 months before. It was, of course, our fault. Then the guy said, JP, we have a video for you. We have to do this. We're going to send it to her. I said, what is it? You have to see it. So they opened the hood and they did a video and they sent it, and I got the approved part of it. And the funny thing was, it was packed with pine cones, like the air box, the filter. It had thousands of pine cones. John, I don't remember this.
How do you get pine cones in there?
Squirrels. Oh. Lots and lots of squirrels. So the funny thing is, the lady was very upset with us to start. So we've taken her home by shuttle and we sent her a video saying, this is why. And, she jokingly said, well, you put them there. I'm kind of like, what? And she said, here's my credit card, just got it done. She would have been a customer who would have come back, wanted to see it without touching it, wanted to see what happened. she was able to pay for it, and as we diagnosed it, get it off the hoist and have the next customer move in. That is the power of video. You can take people in videos worth 1,000 words. You can show them versus telling them, because let's be honest, there's a lot of people who don't trust the process, or don't, there's so many bad stories by so few people that it can change people's views. So the video will really help you deliver that message to the client, saying, hey, this is what we found. You don't have to worry about this now, but on the next oil change, you might want to look at this. I know John has one that he, as a customer, he showed me at the very infancy when I started using it. And it was the guy showing a tire. Your tire shouldn't move like this. You might want to have this checked. And that's powerful when you can say, here's the problem, versus telling you on the phone, taking it off, parking it, having the guy come in, putting it back up on the hoist, and showing him. You can do it and get a faster return and a better ROI.
Well, you save time in the service department too for the mechanic. I mean, if you can take a quick video and that car is still up on the lift, that's money for that mechanic.
Exactly. And the less they have to really fire that off and take it off and park it, flat rate is, guys were really, the mechanics weren't doing the videos, but the service advisors who were getting paid on the work started going, hey, a minute, I can use this. And they're really pushing the envelope and trying to find ways they can use it differently.
I'd love to see a dealership that has some really good case studies around service, utilizing video in the service department for that reason alone, not having to take the car down off the lift, pull it out, then pull it back in, be able to utilize video and text messaging, get that instant response.
Yep.
Get yes, absolutely, this is what I want done. And the car is still up on the lift. The mechanic's super happy because now he doesn't have to take the car down. He's not losing shop labor. That's fantastic.
We've seen it used on the other end when a customer had history of accusing the dealer of damaging the car every time. So we did a walk around video with them right there, and then sent it to their email.
Yeah.
And so they said, you damaged my car. I said, well, you were here with a walk around video. Here's what happened. Here's what you told us. And here's what we've seen. We didn't damage the car, and they have nothing to stand on. So it was used as a proactive way to make people who are challenging the dealer go away, or stop at least challenging the dealer. So there's a lot of different uses of video.
So we've got a question from Chuck Nur. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But Chuck wants to know, how are you getting videos of owner vehicle reviews? Any, getting videos into your reviews, or doing anything with salesperson testimonials?
Sure, that's a great question. And John's got a great tool for that in Authntk. There's a testimonial tab that everyone has access to. But on delivery, we've made it through a lot of the process. I'm a second baby.
How old's your kid?
She's 2.5.
Oh yeah.
That's
a great age.
It is a good age. Not right now.
Right.
So
come back after 5, sweetheart.
So with use of video, we're really heavy into Google reviews, our dealership. But we found when the guys were going, okay, how can I make this better and make it more believable? Because not everyone believes Google reviews. Well, you wrote those yourself, or look at how many you got. They can't be true. So we started having staff actually on delivery saying, hey, what did you think about your experience? And that went really well. We grew a fair bit with that. And customers were really excited at that point and told them about their experience. And we posted that to either our website, or we sent the customer version. But then we moved forward with it. Instead of asking the customer just, hey, what'd you think about this, your experience? How did you like buying the Altima? Because the guy buying the Camry coming in the lead next thing, I'm looking at a Camry, looking at an Altima. Well, this is why my last customer bought the Altima. So we're using it to really positively affect sales and customers' point of view.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's strong. That's a very strong message.
Yeah. And we've taken it a step further by downloading those videos from YouTube onto I'm going to have to go in a second just to give her a cheese string. Okay.
That's all right. The next question's for John.
Okay. But really quickly, you can go to a discount store and get those digital picture frames. Some have speakers. So we've downloaded them onto digital sticks, stick them in the side and mix them with the Google reviews, put them on the customer's desk versus that only that old, in a second, Dave, I'll be right there.
It's the old "why buy from me" message. I remember back in the day, we would take not Polaroids, maybe, but we would take photos of our happy customers and we would put them in our manual.
Yeah.
Yeah, the binder, the "why buy from me" binder, and you'd sit it on your desk.
Yep.
And I actually did that, my goodness, a long time ago. I would take photos of all my happy customers, and I upload them to the USB stick, and I'd throw them in the monitor there, and someone would be sitting at my desk. I just scroll that thing around and just be photos of all my happy customers. Of course, that wasn't video back then, but now you've got the ability to actually play the video. Maybe you just hand them the iPad with the videos and testimonials on it.
Yeah, we've done that. We lost an iPad, but we found that when you leave the customer at your desk, there's nothing to do. So besides having coloring books and widgets and stuff to play with, that video with audio was really positive because it was circling and they're just sitting there watching it. And you can watch them watch it, and the objections seem to drop when you come back with numbers. They don't tend to be as aggressive.
Well, yeah, they're just not standoffish. You're being transparent with them. You're showing them. I mean, at the end of the day, they want to do business with you. We know that consumers nowadays have, they've done their 18 points of study, different websites and all that good stuff. They're only visiting less than 2 dealerships. So if they're sitting there in front of you, if they have a complaint, if they're standoffish, there's a great tool to just alleviate that.
Yeah, and a couple people on the internet are actually sending those reviews as part of their follow-up process. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go feed her in a second. I'll be right back. You asked John this question.
We got plenty of questions for John.
I'll be right back.
So the first one, John, comes from Facebook, and it's being asked by Mr. Webb, and he wants to know if you were going to be Eugene from The Walking Dead for Halloween.
That's a great idea.
That would be a Joe Webb question.
Yeah, definitely Joe Webb.
But I watched Walking Dead the first few seasons. I don't think I remember that character, so I'll have to check it out. But it sounds like a good idea.
God, I haven't watched it in a while. He was like the army guy, I think.
Oh,
redhead. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
JP, you just missed the best question ever.
What was the best question?
You have to watch the playback.
Joe Webb, thanks for the question. It's always comedy with that guy.
Yeah, it's Joe Webb and Sean Raines on here next week, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
I'll have some questions for Joe.
Yeah, and it's 420. I just realized that. So, and Super Troopers 2 comes out that day. So I expect a good game of Meow.
I look forward to watching the playback.
Bring your liter cola.
This is unscripted.
Alex, do we have any more serious questions from the Facebook?
A lot from Joe Webb, so no.
I was going to mention one thing on the video reviews. One thing that I think is really cool is, sending a personalized video post-sale, right? Thanking your customer for the purchase. And then what a lot of our customers do is they'll give them very specific instructions on, the CSI email that's going to come, that survey. So they'll walk them through the 10 questions, tell them how important it is to give me all 10s or all 5s or whatever. Some people will even record a little or make a little iMovie video that walks them, shows them exactly what it is and everything. So I think those videos are super cool, very personalized. Maybe you answer a question that was lingering, like, when's my extra key coming in, or, setting up a Bluetooth or whatever. So the post-sale thank you video, direct them to leave a review, answer any questions that could come about a CSI email. So post-sale videos I think are super impactful and powerful.
Well, John, you just published an article over on Dealer Refresh blog. I think you touched on that actually, if I'm not mistaken. And so what are some other things that maybe you've seen video-wise that dealerships are doing outside the box, other than the traditional walk-around video of the vehicle?
Yeah, I mean, anything personalized, I think, is going to stand out. When we ran a video contest with JP's stores, you know, the winning video, one thing that I loved was they were out there in the snow, right? So they showed the customer the video in the snow. They mentioned that the customer had been sick, so they said, you know, hope you're feeling better. It's picking up, and I mentioned this in the article, picking up on something personal that they may be mentioned in passing, but that you remember and make a point of saying to them. That goes a long way with customers, right? So, hey, hope you're feeling better, or, you know, hope your son won his game. You know, maybe they had to leave and go to a game. You know, anything like that. You know, make a note of it then, and then send a follow-up video and mention it. I think
JP, I see you shaking your head. Do you have a story around that?
No, I'm just laughing because my daughter was. So no, but John's right. He did a kind of a wow factor mailer, and we were proud to say that we won 5 of the 7 spots on that article. So being it really presentable and personal, like you said, going out in the elements and making a joke of being out. Hey, listen, I hate the cold, but I'm doing this for you. Really helps push it forward. No one likes dry, annoying, you know, people hate car salesmen. And at least in my area, people look at dental surgery as a possible a better experience than buying a car, just because there's so much competition and so much unknown. And if you allow the customer to know what's
going to happen. There are drugs involved with dental surgery.
It's hopefully enjoyable, but we're about to pass their marijuana law, you know, so whatever. But the biggest thing with a lot of the videos is making them customer feel comfortable. The pre-delivery, so confirming the appointment with a video, is a really good way of not only telling the customer, hey, I respect your time, I'm going to have the car ready, here it is, and this is what's going to happen when you arrive. When you arrive, we're going to go for a professional demonstration. We're going to look at the equity of your vehicle and apply it. When we get back from the demonstration, we'll have a proposal ready for you that you can think about. Does that sound okay? So we'll see you at 5:15. People have a lot better, you know, go with the flow because they feel comfortable and they know what the next step's going to happen. You can do it in email, but video, you can really let your empathy come through. And that's one area that video really proves is empathetic selling.
Well,
Understanding customers bad, you know, how to bad.
You totally nailed an incredible best practice. Every dealership across the nation, you know, is afflicted at some point by some sort of weather that crushes floor traffic. So it's take advantage, go out with your camera, you know, especially if you got one of the newer iPhones, they're weatherproof. So you can go out there and in the inclement weather, in the rain and the snow, and tell a story about how you're doing it for them. I love that.
And a lot of times, like, we brought cars into our drive-through and with snow on them, and we hose them down, but we leave just a little bit of snow on them for them. Say, hey, listen, we brought it in, it's melting off for you. It'll be ready to see you at 5:15 or whenever the time is. It makes people feel like they're being respected, and that the only commodity we can't replace is time. So we're being very mindful of their time and ensuring their experiences are a good one.
That's strong. I'm sitting here making notes, actually. Thanks.
Just looking forward to the next snowstorm now.
Yeah, no. Our weather just broke. There's no more snow. We're 75 degrees today. No more.
Knock on wood.
John, do you have any stats? I mean, we're talking about response rates and all that good stuff. You know, a lot of dealerships, they're not using video. They're just using the traditional email, which, again, I think if you formulate emails the right way, it can still be very effective. We're still mobile. Some, depending upon on your area, maybe video is not going to be, you know, the best solution right away, especially on mobile. But hopefully, you know, most people have gotten past that. But with that being said, I mean, do you have any stats? Is there an increase in response rate? And JP, maybe you can speak to this as well, measuring, you know, before utilizing video up to that point. Are there any stats that you can share that say, hey, you know what, this is why it makes sense? You know, we've got stories that make sense, but are there any hard stats?
Well,
yeah. So
Go ahead, John.
I was just like, here's some just general video stats, right? Consumer video. If you include video in an email subject line, so you're sending a video via email, that's going to increase your open rate by 19%. That's going to increase your click-through rate by 65%, and your unsubscribes are reduced by 26%. So that's just by including video in your subject line. That doesn't even speak to, increase in, show percentage and, sales and stuff like that. Those are just general marketing, guidelines. So I think those are 3 fantastic reasons to start sending video and letting people know that they're getting a video, by including it in the subject line. But a lot of times the number that we hear from, especially internet teams, is when they implement video, they get a boost of about like 30%. And if you scroll through Authntk, through our testimonials, everyone seems to say about 30%.
30%
in
what?
Sales increase.
Okay.
From internet.
Wow.
Yeah. So
least
the tough thing for us, the tough thing for us is, once the video gets sold, once the video gets sent, we sort of lose that tracking ability, right? We don't know what happens after that. Maybe the sales rep.
Well, that's why I was asking JP too.
So,
well, let's flip it over to JP.
So one thing everyone has to understand, video is an amazing tool, and it is a tool, but it won't necessarily, that one video sent, people fail with it because they send a video and then they sit there like this going, when's he going to come in and buy a car? I think people have to understand that video will open the portal of communication and open the opportunity as the customer becomes more up to listen to you or receive more for communication. Video will fail a lot of the time, probably 80% of the time, without a strong follow-up strategy. So if you just send a video and then leave it, there's no call to action for the next engagement, video will fail. You have to make it as part of your process and your follow-up strategy. If you contact the customer and just have them, did you get my video? Yep, got it. Thanks. And that's the end of it. But engaging them about that video, asking their opinion.
Do you mind sharing maybe a few secrets around that? Well, give a little bit of.
Well, the big thing is when you implement video into a dealer, you have to understand that, like most things, like with brand marketing, it's not like going to be an immediate effect. You have to build that communication strategy and that confidence in the product. What we found is when you use videos for new cars as part of the follow-up, not on the first necessarily video, but on maybe on a second non-responded to action, it creates another follow-up. So where most people fall off after 1 or 2, the video is number 2. Now I have to follow up on the video number 3, and my third is now 4th. So there's 4. So it gives us opportunity to connect with the customer again, saying, hey, I just recently sent you a video. It was my first one. I'd really like your opinion on it. Whether you've bought a car or not, I still value your opinion. I'm new in the business.
So I like that. So what you're saying, because I've trained on video and, you put it in the salesperson's hands and, you turn around, they're like, oh, I sent this customer. I've sent X amount of customers, 2 or 3 videos and I've never gotten a response, so you've got a formula to sort of help that is what you're saying. I had a formula. We had a beat down piece of shit vehicle. I think it was maybe it was on fire. It was towed in here and we all did a walk around video of this vehicle. And I'm like, you don't get a response after the 3rd video. Your next subject line is video. I found your next car. And you're doing a walk around video of this shit you go. And I'm telling you, I used to do that with photos back in the day. I found your next car and I'd just send them a photo of a car on fire just to get a response. Some people didn't like it, but I tell you what, most people responded back with a laugh, a phone call. Yeah. It broke the ice. We had a good conversation. And so, yeah.
People don't understand that no one wants to see an OEM commercial when they send a video. It's about your personality, about your brand, and you are the brand, right? So no one, this has got bucket seats, it's got 285 horsepower, no one wants to see that crap. They want to see something that's unique about you or about the dealership or about the vehicle. You know, I know you were looking at this model. I've got 15 others like it starting at $9,985. So meeting your needs won't be a problem. Hey, I know you're looking at this one. I've also got a demo that would maximize your savings. I know you're looking at this one. I've got one with a moonroof. We misordered. It's about having that personality come through and being a story and being the brand within your dealership brand, right? So many times I've seen new people to video going, yeah, no, it's got windows and it's got power windows and it's got some wheels and it's got good wheels and it's got, but you're just reciting from a book. And the customer's gone to the OEM site to submit the lead, already knows that. So what are you telling them about the vehicle that's different?
That takes practice though, man. That takes a lot of practice.
It does. But you also understand that if it's not working, change it, right? You know, I used to fish tournaments and bass tournaments way back in the day. And I knew that if I was throwing a lure and something followed it, I probably did something right, but I was way off from actually hooking up, right? So you guys got to change something. If nothing changes, then nothing changes. With follow-up and understanding that video alone won't sell a car, as long as you're selling empathy in yourself and understand that you probably had a bad experience somewhere else, Mr. Customer, I get it. Buying cars suck. And the ownership hates when I say that, but it's so true. Buying cars suck. Here's why I'm different.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
that's the message.
It's the opportunity not to sell the vehicle, but again, like you said earlier, to sell yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Sell the experience.
Yeah. So video alone won't sell it. Just make sure that you have a strong follow-up strategy.
And like you said, John, earlier, I mean, you know, you're shopping for a vehicle and you received 0 videos back. JP, I'm sure you have the leg up on the competition because they're not doing it, you know? So what a great way to just have your dealership, your salespeople, your service just stick out amongst the crowd and make it that much easier.
And if you're a dealer principal or manager right now listening, the one thing I can tell you is, you know, really make it a fun process. If you just institute it and put it in your paperwork and in a job description and roll it out, because I tried that in the strong arm version and it worked with a lot of begrudging and a lot of hate. But when you do it as a fun contest and say, here, this is what we're going to do. I made teams with steak and bean night, or in this case, we judged I had John judge the contest where we're giving away $2,000 hockey tickets for a box seat during playoffs, you know, and it was unbelievable, the response. I think it was 850 videos in a month sent by a couple of dealerships. The engagement was huge. I think John got it down to 20 dealers that were, or 20 people that were in the file running that had high quality engagement. And then he picked two, so.
I've seen some dealerships actually make it part of the pay plan.
Yep.
How many videos you send out. So you've got a certain amount that you need to send out within a certain amount of time and, or for the month. And, you know,
the only drawback,
for every 50 videos, you get X amount.
The only drawback with that is you're not judging, you're not rewarding quality. So
Agreed.
So we did
volume, not quality.
We did it on testimonials. We did video testimonials, Google reviews. So if you're, you know, you send out, if you get 25 video testimonials, and they could be from any age. It could be 20 years ago, the customer bought from you. And the guy who won it wasn't a salesperson. It was a service advisor. He had every customer he served with and he was happy with. He would do a video with them. It's like side by side with a selfie going, hey, this is me and Brandon. Brandon, how was your experience? I said, that was awesome. Go see this guy. And I was blown away that this guy was literally 3 times higher than the next closest salesperson. And yeah, it was awesome. So engage your staff, make it fun, make it a contest within a contest, and do it every quarter. Don't just leave it for once a year because you wonder why it fails. Right?
Yeah, top down as always. Yeah. Alex, do we have any more questions on Facebook? We all good?
None that I think these guys.
No more questions from Joe.
There might be 1 or 2 for you, Jeff. And that beautiful color behind you, but
thank you.
But I just told people it brings out your eyes a little bit.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Yeah.
Is it periwinkle?
Yeah, periwinkle.
Whatever. All right, moving on. John, JP, we really appreciate this. Thanks for joining us. This has been great, very informative. A lot of dealerships are not utilizing video, so you guys are still at the forefront, cutting edge per se. Look, if you're a dealership and you're looking for a video solution, this isn't a sales pitch or anything like that, but give John a call, walk over to walkaroundvideo.com. Jump over to the video, walkaroundvideo.com. By the way, that's a great URL. Where did that URL come from?
It's nice, right?
That's fantastic.
I don't know where we had that idea.
Like I said earlier, we go way back. Listeners, if you're not part of the Dealer Refresh community, please jump on over to forum.dealerrefresh.com or just dealerrefresh.com. Join the community. And of course, we're here, try to be here every single Friday at 12:30 Eastern and go live. Well, 12:30, 1 o'clock. We're here at 12:30, but we go live at 1 o'clock. So join us then. And again, JP, thank you so much from Toronto. And John, I'm sure we'll talk soon. Alex?
Yep.
Peace.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.